Hi everyone, me and Luigi are back. um, the angels wanted me to speak about ghosts and not the kind, um, and people that commit suicide. So here we go, and I'll do my best to give this over. Um, the angels wanted me to explain what are ghosts and how does this manifest here, and what this is about is that ghosts are just people that have lost their body and passed away, but didn't take the bus to the other side. So for whatever reason, they kind of became earthbound, whether they were fearful to cross over to the other side, or sometimes, they passed away on a lot of medication, so they never really realized that they passed over, and once the medication moves out of the consciousness, it's like they don't know how to get back, how, the ancestors all come down to help them and meet them and greet them. That's Luigi going right up to the camera. The angels go down, the angels come down to meet them, to escort them to the other side, and your ancestors come. But when a person is on heavy medication, they miss that ceremony and the meet and greet. So when the drugs move out of the consciousness, recreational as well as prescription, they find themselves, what's going on here, and then you need people on this side to kind of light a candle to help them become aware of what's happened, and re-pray for them to see the light, and invite their ancestors in a ceremony, invite their guides, and you help them to move over. That's very important, and I've done that quite a bit with my work. And then so ghosts are people that have gotten caught here through not realizing they're passed over. Then others become quite, maybe you get someone who's quite fearful to move to the other side, so they stay grounded because they're attached to their home, they're attached to their people that they love, and they find it incredibly difficult, so they say goodbye to the meet and greet in the bus, and they resist it and they stay here. But then I think what happens is maybe there's a time when they want to cross back to the other side, but they don't know how to anymore. It's almost that they've missed that portal, and it's different for everyone. Different souls have different frequencies and vibrations, so depending on where they're at, some can do certain things and others can't recreate that going back to the other side and calling their ancestors for themselves. So then again, they need people to help them, and then that's how sometimes, you go to people's homes, and people move into their new home and they get a new key, and they find they have a ghost living in their house, a man that had passed over, a woman, or depending who it was. And it's kind of very upsetting for the new people that are there and for the people that have passed over. And so then you need people to be able to come in and facilitate the process where you help the person that's passed over feel at peace with everything, and to move over and let go of the house, and recreate the angels coming down, and their ancestors inviting them, and help them to move over peacefully. Also wanted to then talk about people that have passed over through committing suicide. And the angels wanted me to hold this with a lot of love, and there is no judgment for people, judging people that have passed over through suicide and saying they're going here or they're going there. And what this is about, in my understanding and from what I've seen from the people that have passed over through suicide, is that however you feel at the moment of death, like we spoke about in the previous video, is a GPS for arriving on the other side. So if you die at your own hands, and you die with a lot of sadness, and you die with a lot of depression and feeling that nobody loved you, how you pass over is how you land on the other side. And so people feel that it's not the body that's in pain, it's the soul. So if you commit suicide and you lose your body, all that's happened is you arrive on the other side. You haven't got rid of the pain, because wherever you go, you take yourself with you. All that's happened is now you know that, and because you get to see things when you arrive on the other side, and you're understanding, and you're understanding of love, and your wrong perceptions are all corrected, and you see how much people really loved you, and you see what maybe you could have done about it, and you see that now the only way you could have done anything about it was to have a body. So now there's more pain because you can't get back into your body to come back, and you know, you then have to reincarnate, and you reincarnate with similar circumstances, and you've got to then overcome all those challenges again. So it's kind of easier to just stay where you are and sit with the pain and get the help that you need. People that can help you with how you're feeling and support you in the process, whatever it is that you're going through. It's very important because there's no way out of this. There's no way that we can say to ourselves, you know, that's it, I've had it, I've got too much pain, I've had enough as I could take, I can't live here anymore. Because there is nowhere to go where you don't exist in the equation, and there's nowhere to run from your feelings other than to sit and to work with them and work with the people in your environment and to create your life in a better way by understanding yourself and really knowing that all the love you need is within you, and that you are beautiful, and that you are good, and you are special and kind, and that you are loved, and the angels are with you, and your ancestors love you, you know. So one can draw on the spiritual realm if you feel that there's nobody that's good and kind around you, you know, and one can get counseling, and one can get help to be able to clear up wrong perceptions and to have the strength to change and move from circumstances that are fueling the pain. But this is not about judgment, and the angels and God, and nobody sits in judgment of this. This is just about something that's practical. And how I explain it to my clients, it's like if somebody, say somebody wanted to go on a diet and they were from another planet and they came down to Earth and they said to you, you know, I really want to lose weight. And you say, well, you know what, just eat 2 liters of ice cream a day, and just keep adding that to whatever you're eating, and you can have as much chocolate as junk food as you want on top of whatever you're eating, and you'll lose a fortune of weight. Well, can you imagine this person from another planet surprised when 2 months down the line they haven't lost weight? And it's the same with people who think that if they commit suicide, they will be in heaven and they'll find peace on the other side. It's a wrong perception. It's not because, you know, they land up in a terrible place because they committed suicide. No, they land in a sort of a hell realm or a terrible emotional place, not because they did anything wrong, but because they arrive at the consciousness that they were in, the state of consciousness they were in when they took their own lives. That's the GPS for how you arrive on the other side. So we have to be here and to work with all the things that come up for us, all the different pains, all the different things that we need to deal with, and we need to deal with them gracefully and peacefully. And I think it's our responsibility to try to reach out to people that we know are in pain and we know are at a risk, and if we can't help them ourselves, try to direct them as to where they can go, but to really try to listen to them, try to help as much as we can, and help them to go to the right places, because there are times in our lives where we can all go through really hard times, and we have to kind of dig deep for our inner bear strength and inner lion. And there are times that we really need all the people around us to see us, to listen to us, to love us. So my message from the angels is to help people that are dying, to remind them of the goodness within them, of all the joyous things they did on earth, of all their good deeds, and that helps them arrive in a good place on the other side. And to then, you know, if you know of a ghost in houses, then help light candles for them and pray for their ancestors and guides to help them to see the light again and go towards the other side in love. And if you know somebody who's feeling really low and you're worried about them, give them lots of love, listen to them, and work with them to help find somebody that can help them. Lots of love.